Flea to Be You and Me is the first segment in the 9th episode of the 8th season of Arthur, and I'll be honest, I think it's a very well constructed narrative, but I didn't really care for it. This is one of those episodes that's told through the perspective of Kate and Pal. I think this is maybe the 3rd or 4th episode where that's the case. And while I'm not going to say that the episode is appalling or that I really hate this approach, I don't find it that interesting. I just find that because of their perspective, I don't really find it to be that engaging. As a one-off, it was okay, but now it seems like it's something that's going to recur. But the story couldn't work told from any other perspective, because we actually get to hear the perspective of a flea, which I did think was quite interesting. And Pal has this flea, and Kate and Pal listen to this flea telling its story about how it came to be on Pal. And it's, yeah, as I said, it's a very well constructed narrative. It is relatively interesting. The flea comes from far away, and it had quite a journey to get to Pal. And I won't explain any more about that because obviously that's the point of the narrative, but it's certainly quite fascinating. And I was quite interested enough to listen to the flea's story. I think it's a well-developed narrative. It flows very well, it's unpredictable, it's genuinely not a bad story, and it is quite interesting. But as I said, because it's told from Kate and Pal, I just didn't think, I don't know, I just don't love them as protagonists. I think Pal is adorable, Kate is fine as a supporting character, but I never really find their outlook that fascinating. But it's not a bad episode, definitely an interesting enough story, but it's never really going to be a contender for my favourite episode. There's not really much else in it that stood out to me. There's nothing else I feel inclined to mention. It's an episode that I watched. I didn't hate it, but I can't imagine I'd watch it again.